And what's up there, YouTube, on this beautiful Sunday, April afternoon? Was it coming back at you with another light that I'm just putzing around with? Some of you may or may not know. I got rid of a bunch, or I had a whole bunch of MX projects recently. Collaborated with some other people and fixed a couple bars, and this is one of my leftovers or remnants after doing all that other work. Pretty basic. We were going to use this as a parts bar, and I found everything I needed, so I didn't need to scavenge this bar. So gave this real clean or real quick cleanup, mostly soap and water, or maybe a round of plastics on those domes. Domes could use some more work. They actually came out very, very good, considering what the start point was. But long story short, I'm just making a quick video because it's been a dry spell and I've got other projects I'm working on, so I figured I'd just pull this one down, test to see if she works, and go from there. Just a quick, as we're sitting here, this was, I believe, a wrecker bar at one point, but you've got your left or your outer rotators, inner rotators, V-mirrors, and then a center rotator, all of them with amber filters, actually amber 360 filters, which I'll show you here in a moment. If you also look real close here and here, those appear to be sweeps, and then it's kind of hard to see, but there's some takedowns in the bottom center there, and that's my quick finger pointing demonstration as we do the 360 on this. Currently waiting for my power pack to finish charging itself up, as I killed it the last time I used it. So we're gonna go ahead and splice in some working video, but let's give a 360 of this. It's actually pretty good. The newer MX7K, code 3 PSC, newer MX7K. You can see what I mean by the 360 rotator. So the barrel filters, I believe, is what these things are called. I have not yet powered this one up, other than some just auxiliary testing, so I haven't actually given this thing a full run through. For all I know, it'll catch on fire and make good YouTube content. So coming around, you see the tagging there, MX7000, blah blah blah. It's definitely a newer one. It's got the newer style rotators, ambers again. And then if we come back on the back side, you can see we have a traffic advisor back there. The other giveaway that we have a traffic advisor is you've got two power cables coming off here. The main one, which is this guy here, that's your primary, and then the secondary is your TA, or traffic controllers. So unfortunately, I no longer have a code 3 traffic arrow. Well, actually I still might, but I may have to dig it out. I think I actually got rid of that. This is, I'm not going to say uncommon. I would say that this is a pretty well-built bar for what it is. My question, honestly, is Code 3 or the MX bars aren't really my thing. A lot of volunteer fire departments were using these guys near me, and some of the projects I've been working on have been recreating specially configured versions of these bars for other areas. But in this instance, let's see if I can get the power out to this, and we'll run through some power tests and see if she lights up, literally. And we're back here. I had to do a little bit of troubleshooting on this, as that's the reason why the domes are off. I had an issue with this outer rotator. So this is a slow, that's a fast, I believe that's also a fast, another fast, and a slow. This outer rotator here was sticking. It's very possible just age. It's been sitting for a while. I played with it for a little bit and it's spinning around again. So it did kind of also reaffirm as I took it apart just to see what was going on. We've got a sweep over here on the passenger side. Currently it looks like it's set up for one function to act as a takedown on this side, and then when you apply power to the other function, it spits out kind of like and then gives you kind of an alley light. There is the third function you hook up, then it'll sweep back and forth. I'm not currently playing with that. That would be a flasher. There's nothing here, so I left the heat cover there. Another flasher, another sweep. Now, like I said, as we come across, I have a traffic advisor back here. Now, I do not have a control box that will allow me to do anything with that, but I can test them out just to make sure that the bulbs work. I'll probably do that. I don't think I'll do that on camera unless somebody specifically says, hey, I want to see the bulbs work on camera. But other than that, let's just fire up the rotators and I'll wrap this up, because I'm not looking to turn this into it's an MX, not an all-day project. But if anybody has any interest in this, drop me a line, as I've pretty much clearing out all my MX stuff since those projects are done. and this would be up there too. So you might see this up on ELB or on Facebook at some point, just saying, hey, if somebody's interested, toss me a line. So let's go ahead and power this guy up, and we'll take a look at it. And there she is. She's turning and burning. A little chatty, but not too much. She does need some grease on those rotators. They're pretty dry, so I'm not going to run this for a long period of time. I have a feeling this bar was probably used and then upgraded to LED. Did come across quite a bit of amber light selection a little bit ago, and I believe this is part of that. Again, not a bad bar. I'm not knocking the MX or Code 3 MX series bars. I think for what they are and what they do now, they're still pretty effective. I'm kind of wrong about the rotators though. If you look at the outer rotators and are a little bit slower than the center rotators or the two inners, and then it looks like the center rotator is fast, unless it's my old man eyes playing tricks on me, and the outer and inners are roughly the same speed. They don't look it though. And then the center rotator is the hyperactive one. So let's go ahead here and give you the 360, and we'll wrap up this lovely Sunday afternoon. A little bit more effort, needs some cleanup. There's some dirt in here. This is what I would expect for a bar that's probably been in use for a bit. Overall, not in bad shape. Nothing here that a little bit of elbow grease wouldn't clean up and actually make perfect. Nice example. And then of course you have the traffic advisor. And again, I'll probably get those wires out and just apply power to them and just see which bulbs work and which bulbs don't. Seems to be that everything works, minus some issues with the connectivity, probably just corrosion. A little bit of playing with some bulbs and they'll come back to life. But that's it. So on that note, in this April, as the weather gets better, I'm going to try to bring more stuff out. One of my big things right now is playing around with an arcade project. And you might see some of that on this channel too. If that interests you, knock yourself out. Feel free to view it. If not, I'll still be here with the lights. Thanks, YouTube. And Rumble, because it's going there too. Stampede Valkyrie signing out. Alright, after a little bit of playing around, I'm going to edit in some functions. This bar was fighting me a little bit, but like I said, corrosion related stuff. So that's done. Let's test this. There go our sweeps. The neat thing about these bars is I forgot that these bars have the function where you can sweep, or you can actually activate a mode where it'll act like an alley light or a takedown light here, and I'll demonstrate that here in a moment as I work on this next. So here's the takedown mode. Both those lights are working. Well, I guess the driver's side one is actually, it would be passenger side one is now fighting me. It was working previously. It's got to be a loose or bad connection on that. I'm not going to fight too much with this. We can do a test with this. But the neat thing is, regardless, these lights will sweep out. So it's in takedown mode right now. If I put them in alley mode, they'll rotate to the alleys and then they'll stay lit. I'll do that here in a moment. So now, if this cooperates with me, you'll see that this one over here is kind of facing out a little bit. This one's facing you. When I activate this mode, as you'll see, the camera's fighting me again. When I activate this mode, that one shifted to the right and lit up, and that one over there is already shifted and is not lit up. But it's kind of neat just how that functions, is that if you apply power to one wire, it'll come towards you and act like a takedown. If you apply power to another one, it will rotate out. And then if you apply power to the third one, the feature that everybody's most familiar with, you get the famous sweeps going back and forth. And lastly, looks like I got a bulb out here. I may have to play with that. We'll see, but flashers do work. You can actually hear the relay going. And at least one side works. The one on the other side is not working, so I'll have to play with that. But that's it. I will hand this back off to the regular video. And I'm back again. An Addendum. I first polished around on those domes, came out real well, and I figured, you know what? Let's get a little more aggressive with it. So I did. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I could take it further, but the question comes down to being, how much further do you go with this? So these domes are very good shape. The lowers could use the same type of polish that this top did. It's pretty obvious when you look at this, but yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to really justify the quantitative increase in regards to, well, not justify it, but to describe the increase in regards to clarity from start point to first polish to second polish. So with that said, pardon the shaky cam, let's power it up. And there she is. The only thing not working in this configuration are the flashers, and that's because there's a bulb out. But that's a thing of beauty. Any snowplow or wrecker would be proud to rock this, at least in my opinion. So, but on that note, this is for real. Stampede Valkyrie signing off.